Y'all, I did it again. I have cooked most of the main dish of our family, our dinner group. It's not just family. I cooked the main dish and I forgot to show you. It's $1 Million spaghetti. It's not original to me. Spaghetti with a little bit of marinara sauce in the spaghetti and a little bit of butter. And then a cheese concoction that is sour cream, a cheese layer, which is sour cream and cottage cheese and cream cheese, which might sound weird, but it's delicious. And so you put half the spaghetti in a pan, and in a like a 9x13. It serves a gollop. Like one recipe makes 15, so I made a recipe and a half because we're expecting a pretty big crowd tonight. Pretty much everybody's coming except for my crew from down south. They have baseball, so they can't come. But anyway, you layer half the spaghetti in, then all of that cheese concoction, then the other half of the spaghetti, and then you put your meat sauce, which is, I can my own spaghetti sauce, but then you put a pound of Italian sausage and a pound of burger, just, ground beef in. And then you put on I think it was 2 cups of mozzarella and 2/3 of a cup of Parmesan. Sprinkle that on top and bake it. Tint it so that the cheese doesn't get too brown until the very end, and take your foil off, I don't know, 10-15 minutes or so. And I think it bakes for, let me see, 30 to 40 minutes. So we're having that. I forgot to get garlic bread yesterday. We're just doing frozen Texas toast garlic bread. I would love to do like a French or an Italian loaf and split it open and do my own garlic butter and cheese. But you know what we don't have in this little town? A bakery. No bakery. So my Walmart does not carry, and it does not have a bakery. So my Walmart doesn't carry French loaves. I have to go 10-12 miles to a JC store, or, well, I guess both of them would be. There's a JC about 12 miles away. I don't want to do that. Sometimes PA will pick them up on his way home from school, but he's still off. This is his last day off from his knee surgery. He's done amazing. So he goes back to school tomorrow. But anyhow, we're having that. We're having the easiest green beans ever. I kind of got the wrong ones, but I got the ones with potatoes. I didn't mean to do that. But they're Glory seasoned Southern style green beans with potatoes. They'll be fine. They're delicious. You don't have to do anything to them. Literally, open the can, dump them in the pan, heat them up. That's what we're doing. And then I'm making a kind of Caesar salad with homemade croutons, my homemade croutons. And for dessert, we're gonna have blackberry cobbler, which is, my blackberry cobbler is a little bit different than, it doesn't use a pie crust. I top the blackberries with this dough that's kind of like a sugar cookie dough. It's delicious, and ice cream. And I think, even though it is the last day of March, it is gonna be like 85 here in Southern Indiana today, and I think we're gonna eat outside. I spent last evening kind of sweeping off the patio and wiping the tables down. I've got to get another table out to there because Right now I only have room for 12, and I think we're gonna have like, I don't know, I can't remember. Got it written down, but I can't remember. There's at least, I think there's 14 adults and 4 kids, 5 kids, something like that. And a couple of infants, which they don't eat much. Well, my 5-month-old granddaughter isn't starting any table food. The other infant might be starting some table food, but I mean, she's just a couple of months ahead of Colby, so. Anyway, I forgot to do that. I will try to remember to bring you back on here while I make my blackberry cobbler. It's so good. I use frozen blackberries and my homemade blackberry, or my home canned blackberry pie filling. But you could totally just do it with frozen blackberries and mix some sugar and some cornstarch or flour in, and it would be delicious. In fact, I have done that. I've just got some blackberry cobbler or blackberry pie filling that I've canned that I need to use up. So, so that's what I do. I add some frozen blackberries to that blackberry pie filling because I just like a lot of blackberries. I'll try to remember to do that with y'all and then get this on tomorrow. My patio is not fancy. My tables are not fancy. I keep saying I want a big, long table outside, like a hugely long table outside. Think, oh, what was the name of that show? It was in California. It had the Lorelai from oh goodness, I'm showing some senility. I swear I am. Anyway, it was about siblings. Sally Field was the mom. What was the name of the show? I can't think of it. Anyway, Coach was the dad. Craig T. Nelson was the dad. So anyway, they had that patio with that big long table. That's what I want. So, in the summertime, my patio is shaded in the evening, so it's pretty comfortable to sit on. I mean, you know, as comfortable as it can be outside in the shade in the summertime in southern Indiana, which sometimes that's not comfortable, but the pool is right there, so if you want to go dip your toes in or get wet, you know, that's available to you. But I think tonight we're gonna eat outside. 1, we're having a big crowd. 2, it's gonna be hot. And 3, it's March. I am protesting turning on my AC. I got the windows wide open, but it's gonna heat up in here because I'm gonna bake that $1 million spaghetti. So I think it'll be easier if we may buffet inside and carry it outside. I do have a new tea cart kind of thing that I found secondhand. Well, actually, I think it's brand new, but it was at like a Trader Baker, one of those places, you know, and I got it for $100, and it was double that new or more. So I was pretty pleased. Anyway, I'm pretty tickled about it. I brought it out of the garage. I got my cushions on my outdoor seating, wiped off the table, swept off all the leaves, and I need to power wash, or someone needs to power wash. Maybe PA will do that for me. But anyway, I think we're gonna eat outside because it's gonna be hot in here. So, taking my Zevia, Dr. Zevia dirty soda for a little break here. Got to run to the library and return books, and I've got to go get garlic bread, and then I will bring you back to do the blackberry cobbler. You don't need to see me make a salad. It's just a salad. So, see you in a bit. Y'all, I forgot to tell you something that I've been meaning to tell you for a few days. I am, let's see, this is Tuesday. I am 8 days post laser therapy. I will get back with you on the actual name of it, but it was the cool type and then the one that goes deeper as well from my friend. I have a little bit of makeup on, but I do not have very much concealer on. The redness is mostly gone. You can still see a little bit of it, but I'm really pleased with the results. And it's just going to get better because it's about collagen production. So that's happening all the time now with, you know, after being stimulated by that laser therapy injury. Okay. The other thing I wanted to tell you was I have a new shirt, and I'm going to tell you, I don't know how to fix, I mean, I do know how to fix it, that it's not backwards for you, but surely you can read Mimi. Isn't this cute? Looks kind of like it's a quilted, it's a I don't know, but it's my friend who makes these shirts, and she would make, she's got all kinds of, you know, Gigi, Mimi, all kinds of them. She does a lot of spirit wear. If you're local to me, go check her out. She probably has your school, and if she doesn't, she might get your school if you're interested. But she offered me an affiliate link. It's my first affiliate, so I will link a discount for you. But it is, the website is Enid and L, ENID and ELLE, and my discount code is LarryJoe10. So go get you some cute t-shirts. She's got all kinds, not just spirit wear and not just, you know, Mimi and Gigi and Grammy and whatever. She's got all kinds of them. I got another one when I got, well, I guess I purchased them at separate times, but I chose to wear this one today because it's so dang cute. I love the other one, but I just love this one. It's so cute. So anyway, check her out, Enid and L, LarryJoe10 for your discount. So, and now that I've told you all that stuff that I was afraid I was going to forget to tell you, I'm going to run my errands. Go get my bread and return my library books. See you in a minute. No, I'm not right today. I'm going to claim that it was Grandparents' Day, Grandparents' Week at school, and I had to get up early, and we missed the deadline for actually going to breakfast, but school breakfast, you know, kind of, we weren't going to eat anyway, but we didn't even get the kids signed up for breakfast because they don't usually eat breakfast at school, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't take them to school every day, so I don't know. But I got up and fixed breakfast this morning. So I was up early for me. But I'm not right, because look what I wore to Walmart. My house shoes. What? The reason I have house shoes is because I don't want to track random icky crap from parking lots and all over into my house. Even though I don't make you take your shoes off if you come to my house. But if you do take your shoes off, I'm good with that. But I'm okay with you not taking your shoes off. But I try to make the grandkids take their shoes off. I try to make PA take his shoes off. He's kind of me-ishy, you know. But I take my shoes off. And I do not wear my house shoes out. Like, I don't even wear my house shoes to the chickens because, ew. But, yeah. What? I wore my house shoes. I went in the library and returned my books with my house shoes on, and I thought about turning around and going back. It's only about a mile, maybe-ish. And I was like, I'm I'm on my way. So here I am at Walmart in my cute Mimi shirt from Enid and Elle. Discount code LaurieJo10. LAURIEJO 10. But I have my house shoes on because I'm losing it, I guess. I don't know. So see y'all in a bit. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna start the pie filling for the blackberry cobbler. Look at these. They're so yummy looking. They're frozen. Or I might be tempted to pop one in my mouth, but yeah. So this calls for 6 cups of blackberries. I've got 4 cups frozen here. And this is my home canned blackberry pie filling, which you kind of have to be careful with because you don't want to use cornstarch when you can. It doesn't heat evenly. It prevents even heating, the way I understand it. And so not everything may be heated enough to kill off the botulism. And nobody really wants the botulism in their food. Okay, so 6 cups of berries, and that had my home canned blackberry pie filling. It calls for a 1/4 cup of sugar, a teaspoon of lemon juice, which this is kind of an old lemon, but whoops, dadgummit. I'm sure I can get a teaspoon out. Yeah, that was a teaspoon. I love lemon with berries. I love lemon anyway, but I love lemon with berries. The zest of 1 lemon. So there's the zest. And 3 tablespoons of flour. I'm not going to add that because there's thickener in my pie filling. I'm going to get a little bit of sugar. Not a 1/4 cup because the pie filling has sugar in it as well. So I don't need a 1/4 cup, probably 1/8 of a cup. Be right back. Okay, here we go. I've buttered my baking dish. Just gonna pour that right in. Does not get a crust on the bottom. And this crust, it's kind of hard to call it a crust because, like I said before, it's kind of a sugar cookie dough. Spread that out evenly. Get my cup out of the way. I'm gonna make my salad, so that's why that's there. Okay. And now we've got, looking at my recipe here, 2/3 cup of sugar, 3/4 cup of flour, a tablespoon of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of baking powder and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then it says 3/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla. Well, you know, who measures 3/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla? I will just say, not I. So, capful is a teaspoon. That's what we're gonna do. I put it in 6 tablespoons of melted butter that we're gonna pour in. Mix that up. And I could just nibble this because, like I said, it's kind of like sugar cookie dough. Oh. There it is. And then I'm gonna take it and just pat it out a little bit and make the cobblestone look. So pat it out kind of flat like that and lay it on top. Bring it over here. Lay it on top of that berry concoction. Let's see. Here we go. Flatten it out and lay it on top. Sometimes I make a double recipe of this if I want it to be really thick. I did not this time. It's supposed to make an 8x8 pan, but 6 cups of berries, maybe if they were fresh berries, but 6 cups of berries with or 4 cups of berries and what has to be pretty close to 2 cups of berries and my pie filling with the pie filling stuff. I mean, that would overflow an 8x8 pan. So, not a pie crust pastry at all. But I have one daughter-in-law that says this is her favorite blackberry cobbler. And I mean, it's not my favorite because my grandmother's is my favorite, but she's gone. And so I don't get that anymore. So I guess it's my favorite that I can have now. Get this one smashed out to cover most of that bare spot there. Okay, might have a little bit more. Did pretty well covering that. Okay, it goes in the oven at 350. An 8x8 pan says bake it for 30 to 35 minutes until bubbly and light brown. I would say that's probably about right for this too. So that's my blackberry cobbler with a sugar cookie type topping. So it's delicious. Try it. You'll like it. It's yummy. Okay, I said I wasn't going to have you watch me make a salad, but I'm not really showing you how to make a salad. I just want to talk to you for a minute about why I do this. I think I've made this video before, but I wanted to share with you again in case you didn't see it, or in case you're wondering why in the world I'm cooking for, what was it, 19 people tonight, something like that. On a Tuesday night. I do it because several years ago, before COVID even, I started feeling the Lord calling me to hospitality. And of course, I couldn't do anything about it during COVID, but I say I felt the Lord call me. A very sweet young man who is the same age as my oldest son and is best friends with my oldest biological son. I have 5. I'll tell you that story another time. His mother and I were pregnant at the same time. She was the minister's wife at the church where we grew up and where we were attending at that time. And they grew up together. And he and my middleest son played college golf together. And they've just remained close. They've ministered together at a church that we currently go to, although this young man has moved on to plant a church in a city in the Northeast. But anyway, he preached a sermon series about neighboring and hospitality and that kind of thing, and I just kept hearing messages about it. A podcast that I listened to, I read some books, and I just kept feeling the call. And y'all, I'm not exactly an extrovert. I'm if you do the extrovert introvert test in, you know, like on those personality tests, I come in right in the middle. Maybe a touch on the introvert side, but I enjoy being around people. I just have to have some alone time too. My husband, however, is a great storyteller, but he really needs his downtime to be away from people. He does not recharge when he is with a crowd, okay? And I would say neither of us do. So he was somewhat resistant to the idea, but both of us grew up in households that where our mothers, our parents were very hospitable. My mom is a fantastic cook and just a wonderful homemaker. She taught full time and did miracles with stretching food to feed us, to, you know, gardening, sewing. She just did all the things. And she was very hospitable, often having people into their home for, you know, a meal or whatever. Paul's mom was also very hospitable, and truly, for her house, you just never knew who was going to show up. On a Sunday afternoon, there might be 8 of us, or there might be 30. And I mean, PA and I live here. He has a younger sister that lives here, but he has a younger sister that lives away, and he has a brother that lives away. And you just never knew who was going to show up for Sunday lunch after church. Or, you know, Thanksgiving dinner. I can remember Thanksgiving dinners where there were people from Chile and people from the Ukraine. Like, you know, they were not widely traveled outside of the country. I don't know that they ever went outside of the country, but their children did, and their children brought people home, and they were just welcoming. They were the place where you could go in and go to the refrigerator and read around and see what was in the refrigerator and make a bologna sandwich if you wanted one. So anyway, that's how I got called to doing this business of having people for dinner. And how do I work it? How do I know how much to fix? Well, sometimes I don't. But you know what? I've never run out. Maybe a little bit of the widow's jar of oil and meal miracle there. I don't know. But I also take comfort in the idea that I've never seen anybody home hungry. Well, no adult. I might have sent a child home hungry because they didn't like what I had. But if I knew about it, I would have fixed that in some way with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or something. But it's also not their last meal. This is not the last bite of food they're ever gonna have. So everybody gets fed. But I do, in order to kind of gauge how much to fix, I send out a text to the group of people that come. And occasionally we have some extra people that I would love to include every week, but my house is not big. I mean, we do not have a big house. We have I don't know how many square feet, but it's not big. And my kitchen's not big. But, so I can occasionally invite others, especially if we're outside. In the summertime, in the spring, and fall, when I know we're going to be outside, I love to invite other people. But I call it the dinner group in our text message. And sometime, depending on when we're going to eat, if it's Tuesday or Thursday or Friday, I'll send out a message a few days ahead and say, hey, dinner's going to be on Tuesday, we're gonna have baked spaghetti, salad, green beans, garlic bread, and some kind of dessert. Sometimes I know what kind of dessert we're making and I tell them, or for a while now I've been like, I don't know what I'm gonna fix for dessert, but there'll be something. Okay, this cobbler is done. Let you see it. It's bubbly hot. It'll probably still be warm by the time we eat. But holy cow, y'all, does that not, oops, can't see it, can you? Does that not look delicious? Little scoop of vanilla ice cream on it, or some whipped cream. Yummy, yummy. I've got the potatoes and beans going. The beans that have the potatoes in them, because I bought the wrong ones. But they'll be fine. They're seasoned, and if you've ever tried those Glory seasoned green beans, oh my gosh, they're so good. I'm gonna stick the $1 million spaghetti in now. I've got 2 pans. One, I don't know, lasagna size pan, and then one smaller pan. And then I'll let that, let's see, I don't know what time it is right now. I might not stick it in right away, but it's been in the fridge, so it's gonna take a little longer. So I'll stick that in. The salad is pretty much made. It's just a Caesar salad, so croutons, Parmesan cheese, dressing. And the dressing, I'm using a bought dressing tonight. I'm not making my own Caesar salad dressing. I have done that one time. It seems like a lot of trouble when the stuff you buy at the store is pretty good. I mean, if I was really being strict about additives, I guess I would make our own, but I feel like salad dressing is, there are some salad dressings I make on my own, but not Caesar salad dressing. So anyway, I'll put that together at the last minute, stick the bread in for 5 or 8 minutes, whatever it takes, at the last minute. And I'm probably gonna like do a little bit on my floor, because y'all can't see that, but it is kind of messy. We're eating outside. I've got the table set up. I'm gonna tell people when they come in to grab a chair. I've got 12 chairs out there. I need 8 more. So I'm gonna tell the dads, grab a couple of chairs and take them out, and we're just taking them from the dining room. So Sunday, when I host, I'm hosting 2 more times this week. My brother-in-laws from Amsterdam are in, and I'm gonna have them for dinner Thursday night with my son that's my neighbor and his kids. Actually, he's not gonna be here. The son isn't gonna be here, but his wife will be here. My daughter-in-law will be here with the 3 kids. And then Sunday, I'm doing Easter dinner. And whoops, there went a cow. Yeah, so, and tomorrow I have 3 babies to babysit all day. So it's a kind of a busy week, but fun week. So I'm gonna try to film some of that Easter dinner prep stuff. Not the dinner so much. I mean, it's ham and hash brown casserole, which I should show you because hash brown casserole is delicious and a family favorite. I don't know what else we're having. I sent the menu out, but I can't remember what it was. And then the PA wants to do these cute little things that he found somewhere on Facebook, probably. That with a donut, like slice the bottom off so that it's kind of flat, and a donut hole on a graham cracker with a little cross stuck in the back of the donut to signify the empty tomb. I think it'll be fun. The grandkids will like it. So we're gonna make those for the grandkids table. For the centerpiece for the big table, I have an idea. I don't know if I'll get it done. We'll see. Maybe. But anyway, dinner's almost ready. I mean, it's ready to be stuck in the oven, and there isn't much more to it than sticking it in the oven left. So I'll try to bring you back when I pull it out, although there'll be a crowd here, so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll have somebody else film me.